Welcome everyone. So we are discussing the dimensions of child growth and development, and in our previous video we have covered the physical development and cognitive development, these two dimensions of development. In our today's video we will talk about social development, moral development and emotional development. So, social development. According to Freeman and Showel, social development is the process of learning to conform to group standards, most traditions, and becoming imbued with sense of oneness, intercommunication, and cooperation. So, social development is also is another dimensions of development where the child learns to become social, because a child when he grows up slowly and gradually he has to adjust himself or herself according to the norms and standards of the society where he lives. So in the society he has to adjust, he has to work, he has to function as a member of the society, so he has to learn some social norms. He has to acquire some qualities like cooperation, like brotherhood. This type of qualities he has to acquire, he has to learn. So this is the this is actually what is social development. Now let us see how social development takes place, or what are the characteristics of social development. Look, one thing is social development is a gradual development. It occurs at a definite pace and gradually, one step after another. In infancy, social development takes place gradually as infant advances in age. So it starts from the very infancy. Then change in pattern of play. As the infant grows older, the pattern of his play also evinces, reveal the presence of that. That means it reveals that its presence. Many significance changes. Example: at early stage, infant can hold an object. Later, he can play with the toys. So, how social development takes place? An infant, when he learns to grab the toy at first stage, later that very infant, will learn to play with that. So it is a type of change in pattern. Then egocentrism, gradually the feeling of I and mine developed and strengthened, but at the same time he also learns what you and yours mean. So very first, when as an infant, a child has the a child has egocentrism, that he only know himself or herself, she only knows herself. That means everything is centered around him or her only. He doesn't understand your views, doesn't understand you um, also exist, or you can have a different opinion. He doesn't understand this is called egocentrism. So when the stage of egocentrism goes away, socialization starts. Socialization means moving from the egocentric behavior. So egocentric behavior stays there for first 3 years, and after that the child is socialized. He learns social norms. At infancy, the child is most completely egocentric and selfish, not being inclined to give any of his possessions to anyone else. This is at infancy and babyhood. Then, as his social development progresses towards ultimate maturity, as he matured, he learns to divide and share his own with others and to cooperate with them. He learns the art of cooperation. This group membership. Actually, the age that is the later childhood stage is also called gang age, because at that stage they form groups. The child from groups, they do some work in groups, or a loyalty towards group develops in them. They think them to be, or one child thinks himself or herself to be a member of this group. This is how socialization develops in the child. So we have summarized here the features of social development during childhood. So during childhood is a social awareness. That from childhood actually the social development starts, tries to seek independence from his parents and other elders, to become an active member of a peer group or replace family group. So now he go outside the family. Now he go outside and forms friends, peers, and behave as a member of his peer group. Segregation among boys and girls of this age. At this age now, boys and girls get separated. Boys do boy-like activities and girls do girl-like activities. Then clash and interest and values of teachers and parents. So clashes also occurs among his elders, he and his elders, or the child and his teacher, uh, regarding views and interests. Now, this is the most important stage of social development, that is, at the stage of adolescence. During adolescence, lots of changes occur. Now, again, boys and girls show interest in one another. So, this is a drastic change from childhood. They organize social function, they arrange excursion and trips, games, debates, and seminars. So, lots of social gatherings occur at adolescent stage. Now, moral development. Moral development actually refers to a development of moral concepts. What is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. This type of concept formation is the moral development. When the child learns what is good and what is bad, or what is right and what is wrong. So, how does moral development goes on from infancy to adolescence? It goes through several steps. So, according to Jean Piaget, there are four types of levels at moral development: anomy, heteronomy, reciprocity, and autonomy. Anomy means that stage when the child do not understand what is wrong, what is wrong and what is right, what is good and what is bad. He doesn't understand anything. So this is so he doesn't obey any rule. That is the stage of anomy. And heteronomy means is a period of differentiation of right and wrong. The stage when the child starts to know what is right and wrong, he can classify right and wrong. That is called the heteronomy stage, and it is parents and teachers play a vital role at this stage, because because they apply reward and punishment. So the child now think, if I do this work which is good, I will be rewarded, and if I do that work which is bad, I will be punished. So this is called heteronomy stage. Then reciprocity. This occurs at the stage of teenage or adolescence. It is the practice of give and take will control their behavior with a voluntary will. So, at this reciprocity stage, I will do a good thing will be done to me. This type of thing or thinking comes to the child of that age, that at adolescent age. Then autonomy, stage of moral development spread over whole one's teenage. Individual begins to develop rational and emotional maturity. When after the teenage, when the child becomes fully matured, then autonomy comes. He will do something for the welfare of mankind. Now, the emotional development. Emotional development is a process that child develops from dependence to fully functioning adult and applies most life forms. Emotional development refers to the ability to recognize, express, and manage feelings at different stages of life and have empathy for feeling of others. So, emotional development means when you can feel for others, when you can uh, feel that this has something happened to someone else, and you can feel his pain or the joy, then we say that you have emotionally developed. Or we also say that you have emotionally developed when you can control your emotions. Let us see how emotional development occurs during childhood. Peer group, school, and other environment influences emotional behavior. These all influence his behavior. Then, in this stage, the child tries to express his behavior through reasonable means and reacts less violently in emotionally disturbing situations. So, when the child is an infant, he will describe his emotion in whatever way he can. For a small thing, he will cry. For a small thing, he will do anything. and for a small thing of joy he will show his happiness. So from childhood he will stop his emotional expression or show less violent expression. During later period of childhood, child advances to emotional stability and control, and during later childhood, his emotions become more stable. His emotions become less and less violent. He can control his emotions. Now, this again the most important stage in this emotional development. Also, this adolescent stage. At adolescent stage, emotions are very high, but these emotions are hidden inside. This is also called period of storm and stress. You underline this period of storm and stress. Which period? Adolescent stage. Then emotional energy is very strong and dangerous, and it is very much difficult for them to control their emotions. So they lots of pain or lots of feelings goes inside them, and which disturbs them really badly sometimes. Also, their capacity to sharing emotions increases, their loyalty expands. So this type of emotional changes occur at adolescent stage. So we have discussed all the dimensions of development in these two videos. If you haven't seen the previous video, then I will provide the link in the description box. You can watch it from there. So combining these two videos, we have discussed the all the stages of all the dimensions of development, for that is physical, cognitive, social, moral and emotional development. So that's all for today. In the next video we will try to cover another topic from the TET syllabus. Thank you.